Welcome to the Membership Business Growth Podcast, the #1 podcast for martial arts and fitness business owners. We'll dive deep with industry legends to bring you insider secrets on marketing, sales, retention strategies, and life's balancing act. Get expert tips for business growth right here, right now on the Membership Business Growth Podcast. Let's kickstart the action with your host, Ron Sell.
All right, let's get this started. I'm Ron Sell, and I'm the CEO and the founder of Spark Membership Software, and we are having a great interview today on our podcast. Adam Spicar, and he's over there in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area, and he's one incredible school owner that has a really amazing story. And it's sort of like the story that when you hear it, you'll say, wow, if he can do it, I can do it. And that's the whole idea, you know? And because he's one incredible school owner, but he also started from being an immigrant. And now he's a multimillionaire, and he's done that through the martial arts. And more specifically, he's done that through helping people achieve their dreams in his classes. So anyways, Adam, thank you so much for being here, brother. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Master Sell, and welcome everybody. We're going to have a great time.
Yeah, we sure are. So let's jump right into it, Adam. So you're an immigrant. Can you tell us a little bit about your story and how you started the martial arts and what kind of martial arts you do, and also why you started your school and all of that? Can you dive into that for us?
Yes, sir. So originally I was born in Czech Republic, former Czechoslovakia, and I came to United States or immigrated to United States in 2021. And
2001, right?
2001. Yes.
Okay.
22 years ago. Sorry about that. Yes. Yeah. And what we did is 2 years after I came, my story with the martial arts community begins very incredibly, I would say, in a funny way, where my wife told me that I need to start working on myself, meaning I was gaining weight. And on my way to work, there was a Gold's Gym on one side and karate studio on the other side. And I simply, took the turn to the karate studio. I walked in, met Grandmaster Sid Nelson, and I've been his student ever since. And he teaches, we were learning the ITF style of Taekwondo. So Taekwondo is my style.
Right on.
Now, I have trained with him and my wife for 5 years, and then we have moved out to Texas to open our first studio. So that's kind of like the beginning, how we came to United States, and how through martial arts we have met our, current teacher. And, after several years of training in his studio, we basically ended up in the Texas area.
That's an incredible story. So let me get this straight if I can. So you're sitting on the couch, and your wife walks in and says, "Hey, you need to go get doing something. Like you're getting out of shape."
Yeah, pretty much like that. It was actually Valentine's. so that was kind of.
Yeah. So when you jumped in the car, you had every intention to go to Gold's Gym, and you just saw the martial arts school there, or what was
that? Was the intention? Yes. So that was the intention, to basically go get a gym membership.
Yeah.
And on my way to work, we were always passing, a building that had karate sign.
Yeah.
Above one of the entrances. It was a strip mall. And, I don't know what I was thinking, but instead of ending up going to the Gold's Gym, I turned the other way and I went to the karate studio. And I said, I'm just going to walk in. I'm just going to, see what it is about. If it's really like, the Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee movies that I watched as a little kid, if it's the same thing. And even if it's for adults, I was growing up with the knowledge that karate is only for kids, that it's not for adults. And at that time, I was already an adult in my mid-20s. And so, I walked in, and it was Saturday morning. Grandmaster Nelson was conducting a bell test. So it was not even a class. He was conducting a bell test. And, he saw me, and he just kind of like winked at me. He was sitting behind the table all the way in the back of the school. students were performing martial arts. He would be calling one group after another. And I basically waited for, I believe it was over 2 hours until the bell test was finished. And, he came over to me right away, because he saw me how, I was just standing there. He didn't know me, obviously, from all the other parents that have been there. So he knew that I was a new person in the studio. And you could see that he kind of like wanted to get up and come over me because he kind of like waved and winked a few times. But he couldn't because it was bell test time. Wow. It was time for students to show off their best moves. And so, after the bell test was over, he came to me, he introduced himself to me, and I introduced myself to him, and we ended up talking. And he invited me to do a class, for in the adult group. And it actually ended up that he signed me up that day.
That day?
He signed, that day he signed me up.
You didn't even come to a class yet.
I didn't come to a class yet. No, he signed me up right away.
Yeah.
Now, the funny part is that I signed Lucy as well. Lucy is my wife. And so when I got back home, I said, hey, Lucy, I signed us up for Taekwondo. And her eyes got big and she goes like, what's Taekwondo? and then a second later, she goes like, and what do you mean us?
I love it.
That was absolutely, that's something that I will never forget. That moment when she said, and what do you mean us?
Man, and that one decision has really changed y'all's lives,
Oh my gosh. Yes. It put everything, everything completely snowballed from that moment.
Yeah. You know what?
So we started training together, both me and Lucy, we started training together. And we both of us reached a 6-degree black belt in Taekwondo. So it's been incredible journey. But it started, with that turn to the karate studio.
Yeah, that's what's interesting to me is because I don't know about in your life, but in my life, seemingly insignificant things has drastically changed the direction of my life in so many times,
yes.
right? And
yes.
this is one of those things. So a couple of things that I just learned from you is number one is that you had no intentions to go to a martial arts school, yet
correct.
Something pushed you that way. And I think that's incredible. And then you went with it. They were open on a Saturday, which I know some people that listen, they're like, I don't go on Saturday. Hardly anybody, comes or whatever. That wasn't my case. Saturday was our always biggest day, but I hear this from school owners all the time. They're like, Saturdays we just take it off. And here it is. You would not be impacting the lives you're impacting now if it wasn't for that guy being open. And then the next thing I learned is that he invited you to a class, which I think is so powerful. We don't have to have some big offer. You know what I mean? We don't have to have some special. We just invite people that are interested to just come try it out. I'm a firm believer that, if I watch, the greats in basketball play basketball, I'm like, wow, that's really awesome. But if they invited me on the court, it might change my life, right? Like, I'm like, wow, this is really fun. And that's what he did. But then even more important, he enrolled you before you even tried the class. You're like, you're ready to go. He recognized you're ready to go. Let's get you going. I mean, that's the next best step. No need to wait.
Absolutely.
Let's get you committed. Let's get you moving forward towards your goals. So I think, man, what a powerful thing, which was so simple, not complicated, that your grandmaster did with you that day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely amazing, amazing coincidence, I would say.
Yeah, I love those coincidences, don't you?
Yes.
I just love them. Yeah. So now, you were doing martial arts. How long were you in martial arts before you decided, hey, maybe I'm going to make this my career. I'm going to maybe open a school how long?
So it was about 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, about 4 years of training. And when I say training, we were training, 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah.
It was something that we fell in love with. We were so passionate about it. And then, about 4 years into training, we were starting to really think about, could we make this our career? Could we teach in our own studio and make it, make it our career. And it all culminated with a visit to the Dallas area. I was invited by Grandmaster Strickland, who has a studio here in the Dallas area, to do a demonstration at his bell testing. He noticed us at a tournament. He saw our skill and he was like, guys, I want you to come down to my studio. You have great skill. I would love for you to do a demonstration. I'm going to cover your plane ticket. And that kind of was that, second coincidence that pushed us over to flying to Texas, scouting the Dallas area, falling in love with the area. And, we ended up opening a studio here. But it was Grandmaster Strickland who invited me and my wife to perform at his bell testing.
That's fantastic. And so
I have a great video from that demonstration.
Yeah. So that was the catalyst that says, hey, let's make this our career and let's really go into it. So at the beginning, you're a great martial artist, obviously. I mean, someone saw you and like, I want them performing for me in front of my students. That takes a lot of, that tells me that you guys were very good martial artists.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. So then you decide to start a school and, were you guys pretty successful? Because I know I've seen your numbers inside of Spark. I know how successful you guys are. We've talked about this. It's like you guys are crazy successful now. But was that the case when you first started? Was it easy? Was because you're in Dallas, it was just so easy to get started? Or tell me a little bit about that.
So, yes, we had, I would say, like a comet or a shooting star. We were incredibly successful, basically within the first 3 months of opening. What we did back in the day, Master Cell, people didn't have websites even.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was just starting to be. And I was incredible self-learner. I learned how to build websites, till today. I try to learn everything from how to run Facebook ads, Google ads, build a website, plumbing, electrical. I look at all these skills as something that helps me be more knowledgeable about things so I can hold a conversation with somebody who is a professional in that area. And so I learned how to build websites, and I built a website for our business. We started a YouTube channel back in the day, and that all helped us to go and get out the word into the community. And there was a lot of competition in the area, but they didn't have a website. They were not sending emails. We started sending mass emails to our leads. Phone calls and postcards. And that helped us to have just tremendous amount of, power and success in the very first 3 months. If I remember correctly, we were not in red numbers at all from the very first month.
Right on.
I was standing, here we are in a center with a grocery store. I was standing outside in my uniform in the Texas summer heat. It was 104, 105 degrees outside. I had a kicking bag Wave Master next to me, balloons everywhere. And I was waving at people, saying hi to everybody who was coming to the grocery store, introducing myself, talking to the kids, letting them kick and punch the bag. And it was just something where, people connected with us. We were smiling, incredibly excited to be, new in the community. And I think that all paid, like they say, the dividends.
Yeah.
To a point where we were not even opened. The construction was still going on. And we had 12 or 15 students already signed up for a, paying membership. And they were just waiting, for us to finish the construction to start coming to classes. So when we actually opened, I think we already had 20, 25 people, coming through the door for classes.
Right on. That's so powerful, man. Basically what you did was you took massive action on
Yes,
everything that
massive
you
action.
could to spread the word of your school. I did the same thing when in 2003, which is around, a long time ago. I moved to Tampa just like, you moved to Dallas no one knows you. You don't have any
Yes.
staff. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You don't have any employees. It's just you and I guess Lucy,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
I did the same thing in 2003. And within 3 months, we had over 100 students. And within 6 months, we hit our 300 goal. And
Yes.
people ask me, how in the heck did you do that? I'm like, I had to. Like, there was no option of me not, taking years to get there. I had to do it fast. And I did the same thing that
you're
you did.
saying I had to. It was our mindset. When we poured our life savings into building that one studio, it was $50,000. That's what we have saved of working, in United States for the 7 years prior to opening our studio. And basically, there was no option to fail. Like, it's simply like you said, we had to, because we poured all our savings into the karate studio to open it. And so, failure was not an option. Like that was, we were working Monday through Sunday, in that studio. It was just something that had to be done. That was the mindset. We just gotta do it.
What's cool is people could use that same mindset in anything. Okay. Like you don't have to have your back against the wall. You don't have to, lose everything that you own to have that mindset. As a matter of fact, it's probably less painful if you would just take that mindset on now. Like I'm going to succeed no matter what it takes. And
yes, sir.
That one mindset, man, will totally transform your and your family's life.
So I'll tell you a little story that it's kind of like a little bit different to what we are talking about. But I have a great friend, one of our team members, Mr. Brian Garcia, who has been in our company for over a decade.
Wow.
We have a lot of history together. And when I was testing for my 5th-degree black belt with my wife, I mean, the 6 months, 8 months of preparation before that big belt testing, we started working out together in a gym. And Mr. Garcia, he's a power lifter and bodybuilder. He also went to bodybuilding competitions. So he kind of started coaching me in the gym, weightlifting. And I mean, when we worked together and, he was helping me to prepare for the 5th-degree belt test, I will personally say it was my probably second best belt test. I was so well prepared for it. And how it is in the martial arts industry, you test for a high rank, and then, you have, let's say, 5 years of just, you don't have to train as hard until the next belt test. And so I was, already in my mind, I'm gonna get my 5th degree and I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna enjoy the cake and and just not worry about training all the time. And Mr. Garcia told me one sentence that I will never forget, and that has also shaped my personality a lot. After belt testing, he looks at me and he goes, Mr. Spicar, you look so good. It would be a shame if you lost your physique. And
are we going right back to the couch and your wife?
Yes.
Is that what we're doing?
Yes. And in my head, it was like, oh my gosh, she is so right. And I will say that this is something that has stuck with me. And every time I kind of want to take a break with something, I want to ease with something, I remember his words, because he said, hey, it would be a shame if you let all that hard work go to waste. So I'm still working in the gym, I'm still going to gym every day. I teach classes. I work with my students. I have a student testing for 5th-degree black belt, actually tomorrow. So yesterday he comes here and we do his form 30 times together. Going from slow to full power, full speed at the end, multiple times, just having a blast, still training and, pushing this body to try to be its best. So that's just a little side story there that I have amazing.
No, I love it. You know
Amazing.
what it tells me is that, I can see why your school is thriving and is very successful. Number one, you have staff members that's been with you for 10 years or more. That's pretty incredible.
Yes.
They'd probably be with you 20 years if you had a school for the last 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, you have students that are testing for 5th degree black belts. You're
Yes.
keeping people long-term. You're enrolling new folks, but you're also making sure that the people that are enrolling are getting what they came for and are happy and feel a part of what you're doing. I mean, that's some secrets to success right there.
I think it's all about creating community. Often as martial artists, we focus on, position of the hands, position of the thumbs, position of the pinkies. And sometimes we forget for the martial art to think that we're working with human beings. We're working with people. We have to keep creating consistently great rapport with our team members, with our parents, with our students. So I think that is something that we have been able to do successfully in our company, in our organization. And, we just want to keep getting better at it.
What are some of the things that you do to build a community? Like what are some of the things you maybe train your staff with, or like, how does that happen?
So let's split it into two areas, the staff or team members, and then our students. Sure. So with our students, we try to focus on martial arts training, of course, making our class schedule incredibly convenient for parents. So for example, with the class schedule, we have ninjas. Those are our 4 and 5 year olds. And then we have a group of juniors. Those are students 6 to 11 years old or 6 to 12. And those we have divided into two groups, beginners and advanced. And then we have our teens and adult classes. Now, what we are doing, so we have basically only 4 groups of students in our studio. We have the younger ones, the ninjas, the cute ones, the best ones.
Yes, my favorite.
They're absolutely amazing.
My favorite class to teach.
Yes, sir. Then we have 2 groups of juniors, beginners and advanced, and then we have the teens and adults. And for our juniors, our classes start at 5 o'clock. So we have the ninjas before all the juniors. Then we have the juniors starting at 5 o'clock, then 5:45 and 6:15. And teens and adults, we have every day from 7 to 8. So that the consistency of the class schedule is also something that is very convenient for parents, which makes it easy for them to bring the kiddos. We also have classes every day, Monday through Friday. So we don't have, for example, black belts coming only on Tuesdays and Thursday, like we used to do in the past. Or, beginners are 3 times a week, and, intermediates are 3 times a week, and black belts only 2 times a week, or, basically limiting the age groups or rank groups with number of days. So our students can come to classes Monday through Friday. And I think that's the convenient schedule when it comes to martial arts that makes, the parents appreciate it. And so the kids keep coming. And the next thing is, of course, the events outside of martial arts. Parents' night outs, birthday parties, seminars and workshops, very important. Because the child with classes, they will get bored, of course. And as a studio, we have to do some other events, capture the child's attention with something else than just, 40 or 45-minute classes that they do a couple times a week. So I think it's very important as a school owner to also look at the fun events that we have to do with our students to keep them interested in coming. Because I always tell to my friends, if you are not the one doing events on the weekends, let's say, the parents' nights out, birthday parties, special workshops and seminars, maybe bringing a guest from out of town and do a class, maybe weapons class or board breaking class, then the parent is going to take the child to some other, event place. And we don't want that, of course. We want the parent to, bring their child to us. So I think that's very important for school owners to also do events that are outside of the scope of martial arts, and maybe just for some plain fun with the students.
Right on. Yeah,
Yes.
I've thought about this a lot, and that is, I started when I was 7 years old. I'm 51 now, so that's more than 40 years doing martial arts.
Amazing.
And a lot
Congratulations,
of,
Master Sal.
thank you, sir. And I loved every minute of it. I love being an instructor, all that. And I look at some of the people that started with me, and there's quite a few people that are still training just as long as I have. And I'm like,
Yes.
why? Why do so many people quit? But there's always this core group of people that stick around long term. And I came down to one thing, and that was we did a lot of stuff together. Like
Yes.
we went to tournaments
Yes.
together. We did demos together.
Yep.
We traveled
Yes, sir.
together. We
Yes, sir.
we went to everything on Saturday and Friday nights together. Like I don't
Yes.
remember most of the classes that I took, but I still remember after 40 years the events
fun
that
events.
we all did together. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I mean,
Yes, sir.
that's just like for new students and retention, those events are priceless. Even if the school owner loses money, which I don't know how they could on an event, but even if they lose money, they'll gain back all of that money because of the longevity of that student.
Yes, sir. Speaking of tournaments, I mean, we do in-school tournaments. We compete and have students go to regional tournaments as well as national tournaments. They are so much fun. People can stay locally or they can even travel out of state. Our last national tournament was actually in Florida, in one of the Disney resorts. So we had parents basically go to Disney on Labor Day, compete in the morning, and the next day they were going to Universal Studios or Disney Studios for fun. So lots of great opportunities to have amazing events for our members. Yesterday we did our 15th annual potluck. We rented a cafeteria at a local high school, and our demo teams were doing a demonstration for 320 people who came to basically celebrate with us our 15th anniversary. So it was lots of fun. We were giving out Student of the Year Award, Instructor of the Year Award. We had 3 groups, 3 demos go. It was just so much fun. And we had the parents bring a side dish to share with everyone. And then we purchased all the drinks and desserts, for everybody.
Yeah,
so,
we did the same stuff. I can see why you have such a strong culture now. I mean, what you just talked about, what you just talked about and all the events and things, giving back to your students, allowing them to come in and do things, develop those friendships outside of just being on the dot in the middle of the floor in class. I mean, those are the things that are just so crucial. And it provides a heck of a lot of joy to our staff, to me, and also for, the students. I mean, it truly is win-win.
Yeah, you should saw our WhatsApp, team group yesterday, where all our staff members were posting pictures and videos. And hey, guys, it went so smoothly. It was amazing. I can't believe how many people showed up. It's great. And speaking of staff and team members, we get together with everybody in our headquarters studio here every Monday at 1 p.m. And we train from 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. And then on Wednesdays, we usually have a Zoom meeting. So they are in their studios, but we have a Zoom meeting, and we train in martial arts. We speak about issues and problems that we have in our studios that need to get solved, by brainstorming with the whole group. We talk about processes, if we could do something faster, if we could do something easier. Right. So it's very important that, those meetings that you have with team members, they are structured, they are to the point, and everybody knows what's the agenda. I think that is one of the key successes to us growing to 3 studios, that we do, meetings and trainings with our staff members in person. And you can also make them fun. After the meeting, we can go have a lunch, and everybody just hangs out, and we celebrate, living the martial arts lifestyle.
Yeah. I always say that there's two staff meetings that you have to have every week in person. Number one is a staff meeting. That's when you're training them on business, processes, numbers,
Yes,
that kind of stuff. And the other one, which
yes,
I think should be totally separate, would be training, like sweating together,
absolutely.
like
Sweating
actually
together,
doing,
yes.
so many
Kicking
instructors
pads,
say,
doing forms. Yes, sir.
yes. Yeah. So many
100%.
instructors say, I got my black belt, became an instructor, and I don't train anymore. And I'm like, what? Like, that should be something that your whole team gets together and you guys just train and have fun. You develop such a bond, such a team when you do that
Absolutely.
together. And it's
Yes.
fun. The reason everybody got involved in martial arts because they love the martial arts. So
And
let's
Master
make,
Cell, we even spar with each other.
heck
Every
yeah.
2 months, we have a 4 hour, we call it a super session. It's a 4 hour training on Saturday morning. We invite all the instructors and chief instructors from all the studios, all our leadership students and junior and teen instructors come. We usually have in between 40 to 50 students, basically training for 4 hours. Martial arts, weapons, sparring, public speaking, leadership skills, and curriculum for the upcoming cycle. So lots of fun, absolutely amazing to be involved with your staff members. Even like you said, to the point where we hold pads for each other. We kick, we do forms, we spar, we break boards. It's a great fun.
Unbelievable. Well, they say that success leaves clues, and I think you just left about 1,000 clues for people to follow for sure.
Thank you. Yes.
So, I run a pretty cool software called Spark,
Yes, sir.
and we have a really great culture too. Like our team, you see me smiling just thinking about my team. My team are just really awesome people that I always say they give a damn. They care, like they actual
Yes.
care. And
Yes.
one of the reasons why I think that they care so much is because I constantly tell them about the difference they're making in school owners' lives. Okay. Like, and I know that to do this because of when I taught in martial arts schools was that when a kid got more confident, I would go to my team and say, hey, remember when Madison over there, she was really shy and now look at her. She's like a rock star now.
Yes.
And I would tell my staff, you did that. Like you helped her
Yeah.
with that, And I'm like, hey, do you remember when they were really overweight and they were complaining that they were in bad health? I was like, and you put them through our program? Like you did that. You helped that guy probably add years to his life. Like I was constantly telling my staff, I was constantly pointing out how they were making a difference in our students' lives, right?
Yes.
And that I noticed that back then, it made them care more. Like they're like, oh crap, like that kid, was getting picked on in school and now he's like a rock star and I helped him with that. Now that made him want to do more, made him want to
Yes.
help more people. Like it cultivated that team that was like, man, not only am I having fun, but I'm also changing lives here or inspiring people to change their own lives or whatever, right? And I'm sure
Yes.
you probably do something like that with your team as well, right?
100%. 100%. And and I have to say, I have two boys. They have been now training for 8.5 years. My son just yesterday received his 2nd degree senior black belt.
That's amazing.
I'm beaming with pride. They are straight 8 students in the school. Ace everywhere on their great report. Teachers are sending us emails about how our boys are respectful. They get their job done in a timely manner. But at the same time, they don't have any issues with bullying. They are very assertive too. So it's just, I couldn't be more prouder of, what our program does. And you are 100% sure we are changing lives. It's amazing. Right. We get up in the morning and we go change somebody's lives. We empower them.
Right.
It's great. So
I think that's a powerful lesson for everybody. I can tell just by the way you said that you 100% believe what you just said.
Yes.
Also known as confidence. Yes. And the reason
100%.
why you 100% know
100%.
that is because you've seen it happen over and over, including in your own 2 sons, right?
Yes.
And so I think that's a pretty powerful concept for, everyone to start following is like really see the impact that you're making. Like, even if you write it down, right? Like write it down every single time you see one of your students, their lives are better because of your program, and then share that with your staff, because then everybody becomes
Yep.
a lot more confident and eager to do even more and more. So,
Yes. So I'll tell you,
yeah,
one of my favorite things that I do is
please.
we use Spark and Spark's class survey feature that
Yes,
feeds
I love it.
into yes, sir. That feeds into sending an email to parents to leave us a review.
Yes,
And I love to screenshot the review and send it to the studio and say, "Hey guys, check this out. You are impacting lives."
yes,
It's
yes.
it's great.
That is
The
so
class survey
powerful.
in Spark is amazing.
Oh, thank you very much. What's funny is yesterday, a Spartan reached out to me, and typically I don't have a whole lot of time in my day, but he reached to me on Facebook and he says, "Hey, I have this idea for better student service," and I'm like, "All right." And I listened to his idea, and then I thought, "Hey, man, I wonder if he's doing surveys." So I look at his account; he's
Hmm.
not doing surveys. I'm like, "Hey,
Yep.
this is what you need to do: send out these surveys." Matter of fact, this is way below my pay grade, but I was like, "I'll do it for you. Like, I'll turn it on, I'll set it all up for you," because
Yes.
I care too. I give a damn, right? I want to see them succeed, but I think in the surveys they can. For those that don't know it, in Spark, like every 9 classes or 11 classes, it's whatever you set up. It sends out an email and it says,
Okay.
"Hey, how was last night's class?" Because it happens the day after they took a class. So they came to class
Yes.
last night. The next morning, 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m., I don't know. It gets an email that says, rate last night's class on a score to 1 to 5. And we all love those 4s and 5s. Love them, right? I personally love the 1s and 2s just as much. And the
Yes,
reason
sir.
why is because everybody has bad days. Everybody has bad classes. My instructors sometimes will have a bad moment. I have a bad moment sometimes. Don't ask my wife. She'll say most of the time. I don't know. Maybe not. But, so everybody has, some people come into class with a bad attitude and they leave. If we don't know that, we can't fix it. So I
Yes.
like the 1s and the 2s, because then I know, hey, I'm about to make a raving fan here. Because now that I know they're struggling, we can jump in and we can help them. We'll give them a 30-minute private lesson. We won't tell them that it's because he gave me a 1 star. We just do it because we want to help that person, right?
Yes,
And then,
sir.
like you
And
said,
that
go ahead.
I'll tell you, we just got 1-star review about 3 months ago, and it was a student that had issues with spotting, and we didn't know about that issue until they left us that 1-star review with a comment, and we were able to took action on that comment, reached out to parents, scheduled a private lesson,
All right.
and guess what? It's a family of 2 girls, and they just prepaid at our holiday event for another year and a half of training. So, very powerful connections that Spark software allows us to do with the surveys. And with the survey, if somebody leaves us 4 or 5 stars, an automation kicks in to send them an email, an SMS reminder to leave us a review, if they would be
Yeah.
so kind.
And has
So
that gotten you more reviews because of that?
100% master cell. Yes,
Yeah.
we
Good.
get I would say about 3 to 5 reviews on monthly basis thanks to the surveys
That's amazing,
on
right?
our Google. Yes, yes,
Yeah, that's amazing. And that's very helpful, because now, you're going to have more social proof, and other people that are looking for a quality, great martial arts school that cares about people is going to see them and have more
yes,
confidence in your program than maybe
yes,
another
sir,
program that's in your town. So that's
yes, sir.
powerful. How else, if I can, how else do you use Spark, or how does it help you? Anything that you can share?
So one of, I would say, the most powerful features of Spark is the martial arts features it has. I think that because you are a martial artist who is doing belt testings and parents' night outs and the surveys and are selling items, so you have a point of sale system. How all the features in Spark are working properly, how it's all connected, and that gives us great ease of mind because we are using one software for everything. One software for everything.
Right.
Before we would have to have a software, then we would have to have Excel sheet, or for example, we print our certificates for students, rank certificates after mass promotion. In our previous software, we would promote the students. Then I would have to export the promotions into Excel sheet. I would have to all sort it so that I can merge it with Microsoft Word to create a PDF document with the certificates, then send it off to print shop. In Spark, it literally takes me 5 clicks. I go into the mass promotion module. I select all the promoted students and I click print certificates. And I get a PDF in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It is absolutely amazing. Something that took me 3 hours for each studio is now taking me 5 minutes for all studios.
So that's that's 9 hours before and about 15 minutes now. That's a pretty good savings.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Or
So
another feature, Master Cell. We just had our holiday sale event.
Yes.
And when you add item to a shopping cart, you can change the price on the fly. In our previous system, it was not possible. So what we used to do back in the day, about 2 days before a holiday sale event, we would go into our pro shop and we would have to change pricing for 130 items.
Oh, wow.
Times 3, because we have 3 studios. Now we just print a list with the item's name and the holiday sale pricing, because we can add the item to shopping cart and just change the pricing on the fly. And that, again, saving us hours and hours and hours of time. Amazing.
Yeah. And you know what you do with those hours? You know what you do with those hours? You can put it back in your business. Right?
That's exactly what we are doing.
You can develop more relationships. You can talk to more people. You can teach better classes. Or how about this? How about just take some time off and go enjoy your life? Because what is it? Why are we working so hard for anyways? You know what I mean?
Yes.
If it's not to enjoy our life. Yeah, that's been my entire goal with Spark. Is you're right. I was a martial arts instructor for 29 years. That's a long freaking time. Anyways, and I knew that my time was better spent teaching martial arts than it was bookkeeping. Or
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, that's where my heart was. So why didn't I put my time there? So that's why I created Spark, and I love hearing that it saved you so much time, because that was the whole goal. I don't know if you knew this or not, but the original reason why I created Spark was my daughter was graduating from kindergarten, and some people may say that that's no big deal. It's just kindergarten, but to a dad, and it's your first daughter,
it's a big deal.
Big freaking deal. And I was driving to go see her, and I was late because I was still at the school doing all of these tasks. And the entire way there, I'm panicking. I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss it. I'm worried about getting pulled over by the cops because I'm speeding, because I can't miss this. And I got there, and she was walking across the stage, getting her thing. As I walk in the back of, I think it was at a church or something. The school is attached to church. And right there, I'm like, if I'd have been 30 seconds later, I would have missed it. And I felt like the world's worst dad. And I'm like, why am I working so hard in a business where I can't even dedicate time to my own family without feeling all this pressure? You know what I mean? And that next day, I went to the University of Barnes & Noble, which is a bookstore here in Tampa. And I bought like $5,000 worth of computer books. I wasn't a programmer, none of that. I was a man that had problems. And my problem was, why in the world am I not able to spend time with my daughter when I should be? I was disorganized. I was spending so much time on tasks like you're talking about that robbed me of my joy and my time. And I'm like, it's stuff you have to do. You have to do it. But it's like, it's not the stuff you enjoy doing. So I wanted to eliminate that stuff, 100%. Like let the instructor enjoy his family. let the school owner make real money and not have to stress and work so hard to get there.
Absolutely. We collect all the money through Spark. We do all the emails and SMS messages through Spark. Spark's automations are something that is saving us hours and hours. And one of my favorite parts of Spark's automation is we have set up tasks for our staff members too. You can set up tasks. So for example, if a child doesn't come for 10 days to class, not only they get an email, but we have a task created for staff member to give them a call. You know how powerful it is when you just pick up the call and say, hey, Mrs. Smith, we miss Jack in classes. Would you, be able to bring him today? We miss him. He's a great student.
Yeah, 100%.
If yes, sir. If you don't take attendance, or if you don't set up, MIA automations that you can do so easily in Spark, then you are missing these powerful connection, and that all feeds into having higher retention with students.
Right on.
And therefore, more profit.
Yeah, it is more profit. At the same time, it is more opportunity to really help a student stay longer. Maybe they're discouraged. Maybe.
Yes,
Have you ever done anything? Probably not you, just me. But have you ever done anything and you loved it, and then you had to take a few weeks off, and then you totally forgot about it? And like a year later, you're like, oh man, I used to play pickleball and now I don't anymore. What happened? I don't even remember.
What happened?
It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that's the same thing that happens to our students. They absolutely love your classes, and something happens. They break their arm, falling off a trampoline. And the next thing you know, they never come back because the instructor never reached out and talked to them.
Master Cell, I have somebody here with me.
Awesome.
The reason of it all. Here's my wife, Lucy.
Hey, Lucy, how are you?
She's good. She cannot hear because I have the headphones.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. We'll let her know.
She says hello, and yes, she says hello, and she's very grateful for, being invited on the podcast.
Yes, sir. Well, you guys, I think, had a pretty good time with your Black Friday sale as well. You ran that through Spark or whatever?
Yes, it was a record sale for our company. Yes, sir.
That's awesome. That's incredible. And it was easy, right?
It was one of the easiest we have ever done, and we have been doing for over a decade, I believe. The holiday sales.
We've done holiday sale for about 7 years, I think. Okay. 7 years.
Close to a decade then.
Yeah, because we started doing it when we were with Maya.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, we had a good one for sure. So we're happy. But it was definitely smooth with Spark, I gotta say.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes.
That makes me happy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think Spark did a little over $7 million in revenue. Not Spark itself. We collected that for the schools that use us on that one day.
Yes, I understand. Yes,
in
sir.
12 hours. That's pretty amazing.
It's amazing. Congratulations. And I'll tell you something, Master Cell. We have always used software in our company. I have a lot of experience with softwares. We have gone through multitude of them in the last 15 years with, starting with Kickside and Perfect Mind. And we are, as you know, we are quite new in Spark. We have switched from our previous platform, which was My Studio, to Spark in April of this year. Because we have gotten to a point where we were just not getting the features that we needed in order for our company and our studios to grow. And so, yes, and we were also with Pulse temporarily for 2 years. So we are quite new in Spark, and I have to say I am most impressed, Master Cell, most impressed with Spark features, that everything is working. The support team is top-notch. Just absolutely amazing support team. As you know, switching software platforms in a business is not easy. Sometimes it takes even, a couple months to make a switch. And, when I say that we have done switches in our business in the last 15 years to new software, we've had about 6 or 7, major platforms that we have used. And I will say that Spark is hands down the most vibrant when it comes to support, community, features. It's the most rock solid. We had 0 issues, with Spark. I have to say I'm very impressed when I compare it to the other software that we have, we have used over the years. So congratulations on having an absolutely amazing product that is helping us grow, helping us be more successful.
Oh man, I appreciate you saying that, brother. I really do.
Yes, sir.
That was the whole goal, develop something that will really help martial arts schools live their best life, right? I mean,
Yes, sir.
enjoy the process. And
Absolutely.
so I certainly wasn't fishing for your compliments, but I certainly take them as heartfelt. Thank you.
Yes. We have, as I said, we have, when we've decided the switch, it was a lot of research. It was a lot of, questions asked in the community, a lot of going to Facebook and asking people about their experiences. And, when you go and you ask about a platform in any of the Facebook forums that people recommend, there is so much love about Spark. And now I know the reason. Now that we are, fully in it and have been for, more almost a year now, it's been absolutely amazing experience. Now I understand, why there's so much positive report about Spark. And I wish we have done the switch much sooner, much sooner.
Well,
it would
I'm
help
glad
us be at a different level, Master Cell. I'll say that. It would
So
help
what
us
does,
be at a different level.
Yeah, what does the next level look like for you guys? What's your future goals?
So our future goal is we want to tighten up on our KPIs,
Okay.
which thanks to Spark, we now have better overview of it. So that's something that I'm incredibly excited about, because with having better KPIs or better reporting of KPIs, we can have more productive conversation with our program directors, with our chief instructors, and teach
Right.
them how to improve the KPIs, because they themselves can see them in Spark. So
Yeah,
I
right
think
on.
that's something that we're going to be tackling in 2024, and I'm incredibly excited about that.
Wait till you see one of the features that Spark is launching in January. But that's just a tease because I'm not going to talk about it. But, KPIs are key performance indicators. They are
Yes.
numbers that you look at, because if you look at the numbers of your business, you can spot weaknesses. I don't
Yes,
know
sir.
about you, but I love weaknesses because then I know I can make them stronger, right?
Helps us get better. Yes, sir.
Yeah, 100%, right? If I'm really weak in an area, then, I'd rather know it than not know it. There's KPIs examples like how many prospects do you get a month? How many of those become, appointments? How many of those appointments
Yes.
show up? How many of those appointments that show up actually enroll? What is your
Yes.
churn rate? Or in the martial arts, they call it a retention rate, which is the opposite.
Yeah.
What is your MRR? Is it growing? That kind of stuff. Like, of all the KPIs, if you could only look at one, how many new students you enrolled, how many renewals you
Yes.
had. I mean, there's a million of them, right? So if you only could pick one to care about, which one do you care about most?
So I do care a lot about student value. Student value is very important. I strongly believe that you could be running a school with 300 students and making less money than a school with 100 students.
Okay. Yep.
Because of
I
the
agree.
difference of, yes, sir, because
Yeah.
of the difference of student value. So student value is probably one of the most important indicators,
Mhm.
for us. And then attendance, Master Cell. For me, it is attendance.
Yes.
Okay. Attendance is absolutely, at the top of the KPIs, because we know when we have students attending classes, they will keep paying. When
Right.
students stop attending classes, the revenue will stop as well.
Right.
So I would say attendance incredibly important, and I would recommend every school to have very tight attendance records, because that profit and success revolves from students attending your studio.
100%. Those are awesome, man. Well, listen, Adam, I really appreciate you taking the time, and Lucy
Yes, sir.
coming in there and helping us out a little bit. Really appreciate
Yes,
you
sir.
taking the time. The whole goal.
Thank you so much, Master Cell.
Yes, sir. Yeah, my pleasure. The whole goal of this podcast is to let people, well, first of all, get to know you. I think you're an awesome guy, but also
Thank
to
you.
give people some things that they can take back to their schools, maybe give them a different frame of reference or a new mindset or new, things like that. And I think we've done that today. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. you're very welcome. And I'm always open to new school owners, calling, texting, sending email with questions. I'm a very open guy. I like to share. I think that's how we can elevate the entire industry. So if somebody wants to reach out to me personally, please, don't hesitate and do it. It might just change the direction of your studio and your success. Just like I've had mentors in my life. If I could name some of them, Bill Clark,
Yes.
Greg Horton, Master Schmeling,
Yes.
Grandmaster Sid Nelson, Grandmaster Strickland. I'm just so thankful. Master Neville's, and of course all our team members. That we brainstorm on weekly basis and on daily basis. So it's something that we are part of. Successful group of people, and I think that when you surround yourself with successful group of people, that it's going to help you elevate as well. So guys, please, if you are listening to this podcast and you are struggling, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll gladly help you with any advice, and I'm pretty sure that Master Cell will help you as well.
100%. Well, I
Yes,
hope next time I'm in Dallas, I'm coming to see you, brother.
Please do so. Please do
Yes,
so.
sir.
And I would love to be on the podcast in the future. Maybe we can talk about some of the topics in more details. I'd love to do that.
I think that would be very valuable to a lot of people. So let's make that happen soon, okay?
Absolutely. Yes,
All
sir.
right, brother.
Thank you so much, Master Cell. Thank you.
Have an amazing day.
Thanks for joining us on the Membership Business Growth Podcast. We hope you take what you learned and use it to propel your business to new heights. For more information, episodes, show notes, and to get social, hit us at membershipbusinessgrowth.com. Membershipbusinessgrowth.com. If you want to go deeper or send us comments, you can email ron@sparkmembership.com. We'll see you next week for another episode of the Membership Business Growth Podcast with Ron Sell. Thanks again for listening.